Hello and welcome to the tasting of the July selection featured in the Cheese Lady subscription box. My name is Svetlana and I'm the founder of the Cheese Lady, and today I'm joined by Mary Jane, who's our lovely assistant manager. Hi Mary Jane.
Hello.
And welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Today we have an exciting selection of 4 cheeses, and in July we decided to put a French twist on it. So all the cheeses that we are tasting today are going to be from France. So I think that's very summery and just kind of puts me right in the mood for summer and cheese and wine. So without further ado, let's dive in and start sampling our cheeses. So the first one that we're going to try is a Camembert. I mean, can it get any more classic? Can it get any more French? I don't know. So this Camembert is called Camembert du Bocage, and a little bit unusually, it's made with pasteurized milk and traditional rennet. And there's actually a good reason for it. In Britain, currently, we can't get raw milk Camembert, sadly. For a year, we've had this situation where raw milk, cow's milk cheeses from France have been banned. But we've found a delicious alternative, which we're going to try now. As you can see, and you know probably, Camembert is a soft cheese with a bloomy rind. So that's the white rind on the outside. And if we have a look, what do we think about the texture? What kind of is jumping out immediately?
It's lovely and soft. You've got this kind of squidgy element around the sides.
Absolutely.
And a little bit of a firmer core.
And if we move the piece a little bit, we can see how glossy it is.
Shiny,
it's just creamy. Ooh la la. So, and inside, because our Camembert is a little bit young, we have a little bit of a chalkiness, which is okay if you don't want your Camembert to be extremely strong and punchy. It's okay to enjoy it at this stage, but if you want it to be riper, fuller, more kind of full-on and intense, I would suggest ripening it a bit further before you cut into the little wheel. So, shall we smell it?
Yeah.
Quite a gentle aroma, I would say. There is this little bit of mushroominess. Yeah, very gentle, very elegant, very summery, shall we say. And feel free to have a little taste, Mary Jane. Creamy.
Quite buttery.
Buttery, yes. I've started with the rind. And as you probably know, soft cheeses, you usually can enjoy the rind. Especially on cheeses like Camembert and Brie, the bloomy rinds are definitely edible. What do you think about the flavor?
I think you can definitely tell it's a bit younger, but it's deliciously creamy. It's really nicely balanced, and I think the rind absolutely adds a kind of nice earthiness.
Yeah, an extra element, and it's an extra element to the texture and the flavor. So what I'm getting is mushroomy notes, like Mary Jane's mentioned, buttery notes. That crumbly core inside has a little bit more kind of tang and freshness to it. So yeah, multi-dimensional cheese, shall we say.
Absolutely.
And very classically French.
Yeah.
So in terms of enjoying it with wine, what would you be thinking?
I mean, my go-to would probably be something maybe a little bit sparkly or a light white.
Well, since it's summer, why not? Do it. I think sparkling wine would be great. What about a rosé sparkling?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that would work. I mean, as a classic combination, as you probably know, is cider with Camembert,
of course,
because
Normandy.
it's from that part of France, from Normandy, exactly. But if we're thinking wine, we can do sparkling, we can do light white wine. I mean, depending on how ripe the Camembert is. I'm just thinking specifically about this one. Or a light red, maybe like a Gamay.
Yeah,
Pinot
Beaujolais
Noir
or something.
Beaujolais, wonderful, absolutely. So that's our Camembert, a nice start and a nice dip into the French cheeses. And now we're going to go across France, and we're going to end up on the east side of it, in the Jura Mountains, and we're going to try the cheese called Morbier, which is from Franche-Comté. And the famous cheese of Franche-Comté, of course, is the famous Comté. And this cheese that we're going to try now is very closely related to it. If you don't mind, I'm just going to quickly tell the story of its origin, because a lot of people wonder and ask whether it's a blue cheese, because you'll see this line through the middle. It is not a blue cheese, it's not blue mold, it's vegetable ash inside, and it's a nod to how it was born, how it originated, and therefore they still kind of keep that original look of the cheese. So back in the day, and I'm talking centuries ago, people would be making, cheesemakers would be making Comté, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't have enough curd left to fill the whole hoop, which they would need to make Comté. So there was only enough to fill a half. But to save the curd from things landing on it overnight, like flies or any specks of dust, they would cover it with soot on top of the curd. They would kind of rub their hands on the cauldron, which was sitting on the fire, and that's kind of my understanding, and they would cover it with that soot. And in the morning or the next cheese making day, they would have more curd, they would put it on top, and you had like this sandwich of cheese with the layer of soot in the middle. So today they replicate that with vegetable ash, which is completely edible, and as we'll discover, doesn't really add to the flavor, just more kind of to the flair of the cheese.
Yeah.
And just a couple of facts, it's a raw cow's milk cheese, and it's made with traditional rennet. Yeah. Let's have a sniff.
It's definitely got a little funky aroma going on for me.
And that is because, of course, Morbier is a washed rind cheese. So if you look on the outside, I'm just going to show, you'll see the color of the cheese is orange. And that's a signature color of washed rind cheeses. Some will be much softer. This is more of a semi-firm texture. And yes, they wash it throughout its maturation, and it gives it a little funk. I'm also getting buttery notes again.
I mean, the cheese itself, the core is much lighter and maybe milky, buttery.
Milky, slightly pungent. But yeah, I think the aroma is increasing now from the lighter aroma in the Camembert. Now it's getting a little bit deeper. Let's have a look at the texture again. As I've mentioned, it bounces, semi-firm.
Very
springy. And actually the color is nice and golden. I should also mention that our Camembert, it's cow's milk, as we can see. And they all have kind of a touch of gold in them. Absolutely gorgeous. Have you tasted it? What are you thinking?
Just the texture just really coats your mouth. So nice, but not. It's quite light, but there's a lot going on, I think.
It's very nuanced. Yeah, I love that word for cheeses like that. Yes, the first thing I do notice when I try it is the texture. Just so smooth, so smooth, and then buttery.
Yeah,
a touch farmyardy. Maybe a little pinity. Yeah, there's layers of flavor going on.
Nutty. Yes, absolutely.
Nutty. Excellent. What would you be enjoying it with, Mary Jane, in terms of drink?
I mean, I'd probably go back to what I said last month about the Comté, that kind of Vin Jaune, Sauvignon, or I don't know, not something too heavy. Sure.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, the world is your oyster, I think. But if we had a bottle of Gamay open for the Camembert, I think we could just continue with that for this cheese, make it a cheese board. But yeah, you could enjoy with the local wines like Sauvignon. I think that's a lovely idea. Maybe a slightly heavier white with a little bit of oak, given it's a little bit nutty. And yeah, beer actually as well. Some people call this cheese Morbier. It kind of helps them to remember the name. Morbier. So that works as well. So give it a try and see what works best for you.
Delicious.
Is there anything else we wanted to say? I think it's just a very classic cheese. Oh, another thing I would add though, when we mentioned the texture, that it's so smooth, it actually is very similar to raclette. So for those of you who are familiar with raclette, so therefore I know that in France they would use it in the same way, maybe not necessarily in the summer, but Morbier can be melted in the raclette, or if you make in a toasty or anything like that. So it's a fantastic melter, is what I'm saying.
Lovely.
Yeah. Well, let's keep traveling. And now we're going to a completely different part of France. So we started in the west, we went east, and now we're going south. We're going to the Pyrenees. And if you've been to the Pyrenees, you will remember that the Pyrenees is the territory of sheep.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pyrenees are covered in sheep, and there's loads and loads and loads of sheep's milk cheeses made there. The most famous one being Ossau-Iraty, which we also do stock, but this is its cousin, shall we say, or relative. A sheep's milk cheese called Etorki Reserve, which is slightly, I think, maybe a misnomer, I want to say, because this is matured for about 4 months, maybe tops. So it's very creamy. Don't think of it as being a really intense and hard cheese. What we'll see here, that the texture is a lot smoother and kind of creamier than a reserve or hard cheese might suggest. So Etorki is made with pasteurized ewe's milk and traditional rennet. I think we see a theme here. All traditional rennet cheeses. The French do love to stick to their traditions when it comes to cheese making. So yeah, Etorki is no exception. Natural rind on the outside, a little bit orangey. Perhaps they do give it a little wash in the beginning, but I think they let it dry out a bit later to become more natural.
It's quite dry, isn't it? Yeah.
And hard, yeah. Would you eat this rind, personally?
I might have a little bit.
You might have a
Tried
try.
I have a lot of it, but yeah, I'll certainly try it now.
I think it's quite, I want to say a thin rind. So if you do like rinds, you can give it a try. It's not going to be harmful in any way, but it might be a little bit.
I mean, unlike the Morbier, I'm not getting a different kind of aroma off the rind.
Yeah. I think I'm smelling a little cheese more.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think about the aroma of cheese? Completely different to Morbier.
Nutty.
Caramelly, I want to say. Deep, kind of soothing, very pleasant. Yeah, deeper, sweeter notes, touching caramel and kind of nuts. Candied nuts? Maybe?
Yeah, delicious.
Delicious.
Well, I'd say delicious, but you're nosing it. It is lovely.
Before I taste it, I also want to kind of draw your attention to the texture. You'll see that it has little eyes. Potentially it's not going to add to the flavor, but it's just something to notice. And as we are looking at the texture, you'll see it's kind of a little bit sweaty, I want to say, but that gives you a clue if you didn't know that it's a sheep's milk. Sheep's milk is very rich. Out of the 3 milks, goats, cows, the sheep's milk is the richest. So therefore, there's always going to be this glossiness, but it's all good for you. You want to enjoy it in moderation. Oh, I should give it a try.
Yeah.
I've been smelling it. Tell me about the taste. What do you think?
Definitely getting that nuttiness. And the caramel definitely comes through.
Very elegant. It kind of starts gentle and quite moderate in flavor, but the longer you have it on your palate and kind of roll it around, it opens up.
It's not as mouth coating, I think, as the Morbier.
Yep.
But it definitely has a richness that you can.
But there's also kind of a fresh fruity note I'm getting. Just very, very multi-layered. And what I think is great about this cheese is that it's very approachable. So for those who maybe don't think that they like sheep's milk cheeses, this is a fantastic starting point. Absolutely amazing. Give it a try. Now, Mary Jane, what would you have with this cheese in terms of wine or another drink? Don't stop yourself.
Oh, goodness me. I mean, I'd probably follow something similar to the ones before, something quite light. I mean, you could go for a light red, I think, with this one.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, if you're a white wine drinker, that would work too. I would have maybe a slightly fuller bodied, maybe with a touch of oak. Perhaps if you had a bottle of Sauvignon here, you could continue with that. Or if you opened a gamay with your first cheese, Pinot Noir. Lovely summery reds, claret. I believe that might work as well. So don't think a heavy wine. I think what I was thinking just overall with this cheese board, because it's summer, with the lighter wines, but still complex, they would work really nicely. And if you like beer, that would work too as well. I think especially with the texture of this cheese is just so kind of moussey almost for a firm cheese, if you know what I mean. I think the bubbles of the beer would lighten it up, and that would just work really nicely. Lovely. So this is our third cheese, Etorki. And now we're going to move on to our final cheese, and we're going inland. We're going to the area called Causses. So it's a mountainous area where and it's very key for this cheese. We're going to try Bleu de Causses, one of the most kind of famous French blue cheeses. Famous maybe for the cheese mongers. I don't know if it's famous for the rest of the population. That's why I would like to highlight it today and talk about it. It is a cow's milk, pasteurized cow's milk blue, made with traditional rennet again. So the entire cheese board that we have today is made with traditional rennet. And it's a fabulous blue. It's quite bold, it's quite strong, but at the same time, it's not overwhelming. And what I love about it is its creaminess. It is a similar kind of intensity and texture to the famous Roquefort. So if you're a Roquefort lover and you want to try something new, Bleu de Causses is the next thing to go for. Let's have a little smell.
Definitely hits you straight away.
Undoubtedly a blue cheese.
Kind of, sharp.
With your eyes
spicy.
Closed. Mushroomy. I think mushroomy and kind of bouillon-y, I want to say. Yeah, and undoubtedly blue cheese. Creamy texture. We have it here in crumbles.
Yes.
It's an open blue, so it has lots of kind of eyes in the texture. It's an open texture. And a very nice and creamy. We can see it with our eyes and on the palate. Let's just give it a try. We'll see.
Very creamy.
Dense cream. What do you think about the flavor?
Oh, it's sharp, almost, well, definitely a bit spicy.
Yeah.
You can feel it in the back of your tongue.
Yeah. And all over.
Yeah, everywhere.
Salty, obviously, being a blue cheese. But like I say, what I love about it is the texture. It's the cream. And bearing in mind it's a blue cheese, you will probably want to balance it with something. I would never suggest just having the blue cheese on its own. Maybe it is a little bit strong. So have it at least with a nice light cracker or with a baguette. And in terms of wine, what do you think?
Something sweet and white, probably, for me. Or you could maybe go for, I mean, I think as long as it's sweet, I think that would be the key thing. I mean, I'd happily have it with port, but perhaps a sauterne or...
Nice chilled sauterne. Yeah. Let's think
that would be
summer.
ideal, I think.
Yeah. The classic and the perfect pairing, I would suggest, is a dessert white wine. Think sauterne, think Monbazillac, or any of a similar wines from Australia or wherever you can find them. So yes, go classic and you'll have a nice and balanced pairing there. So this is our July cheese board. Mary Jane, do you have any favorites?
I always struggle to find favorites because I like all of them.
You're a bit like me.
I think what I love to do is go back once I've gone through all of them. Go back, and you can. I think you get more from each of them when you go back and try them again.
Yes.
But I don't know. I mean, I love a classic. I can't actually. I was going to say I love a classic Camembert, but that.
So it sounds to me like
fabulous.
you want to have it as a cheese board rather than just one cheese.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm the same.
Yeah.
I mean, I could obviously enjoy either one of them separately, but then why would I?
Yeah.
When it's a more full experience to have them as a board, and each one brings something a little different. And how fascinating as well that we went across the different regions of France and how different cheeses can be, and it all kind of makes sense historically why they're this way and what animals kind of are more prevalent there. So I think I would suggest having it as a selection. And if I were to recommend one bottle of wine, I would say go light red or a white. Sorry if it doesn't help. Just whatever works for you at home. Enjoy that. Well, that's our July selection today, and I would like to thank Mary Jane for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed our video at home, and we hope to see you next time.